guys, this is Lisa with Great Ideas Design Style, coming to you with another video. Thank you for joining me. On today, I would like to share with you my recipe of my cornbread and homestyle chili. Before we get started, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Please give me a big thumbs up. Please put your notification bell button on so anytime that I do a video, you will be notified. So come on, guys, subscribe to this channel. There's much more to see. So I'm going to get started showing you how I go about preparing my cornbread. Of course, I'm using Jiffy. Here it is, Jiffy. And I've already got most of the clumps out of the cornbread. I do that prior to putting in my ingredients. So I'm going to get started by starting off with eggs. And I have to use 2 eggs. So let's get started. Be sure not to get any shells into your batter. Okay, there we go. Let me rinse off my hands right quick. I'm one that when I'm cooking, I like to clean as I go. That's how my dad taught us, to make sure that you clean as you go. So when you sit down to eat, your kitchen is already clean. And you don't have to be cleaning after the fact. The kitchen will already be clean. So what I do is I add sugar to my cornbread mix just to give it a little sweetness. Just a little bit more. And then add my milk. And I have to measure this because I don't use a measuring cup. I don't want to make it too watery, and you don't want to make it too thick. So I'm just going to guess. And if I have to add more, then I will. So let me get my spoon, and here we go. We're going to mix this real good. There's my oven, letting me know that it's ready for my cornbread to go into. Now, anytime that I'm cooking, I always start with anything that I'm cooking with. Like if something takes longer to cook than the other sides or whatever that I'm doing, I always start with the one that takes the longest. And normally it's the cornbread that takes the longest because I like my cornbread to be golden brown. So I always, anytime I'm doing cornbread, I always start with it first so that I can get it into the oven. And while I'm cooking the other sides or whatever I'm going to have with the meal, the cornbread is already cooking. And then they just about be finished around the same time. And it's okay if the other food is cooked faster than the cornbread, long as that when I'm done cooking, everything is nice and warm and hot to be able to sit down and have a meal. So let's go ahead and finish this cornbread. And I do my best to get the clumps and everything out of my batter. I don't like no clumpy cornbread. I don't think nobody would like clumpy cornbread. So you got to make sure it's nice, good, and smooth. And I put just the right amount of milk. So see how nice and creamy it is? It's nice and creamy. And ready to go into the oven. So let me stir it a little bit more. Get some of the stuff off the batter off the spoon. That's why I'm hitting the bottom of the bowl, to get the batter, all the batter off that's stuck onto the spoon. So you want your cornbread to be nice and smooth like this. Like I said, be sure to get all the lumps and clumps out of it. Be sure to get all the lumps and clumps. something. Okay, so we just about ready to put this into the oven. I've already pre-greased my pan, and I just spray it with some like bacon spray, and spray it real good with the bacon spray. And here's my pan. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this batter into the pan like so. And be sure to get all of your batter into the pan. Make sure it's pre-greased, because if it's not, it will be stuck to the pan. And you will be highly upset. Okay, so there we go. And like I said, I clean as I go, so I'll get that in a minute. So here's what I do is I kind of shake the pan to even out the batter. So when it cooks, it doesn't cook uneven. So there you go. I'm gonna put this into the oven. And then as it's cooking, I'll show you guys how golden brown it comes out. So now, before we get started cooking the Homestyle chili, these are the ingredients that I will be using. As you can see, it's seasoned salt, black pepper, chopped onion, garlic, and then I have the seasoning packet here, the original chili mix. I use chili sauce for my chili. Alongside, here are the kidney beans that I use. And here are some turkey sausages, smoked turkey sausages that I pre-cut, and I had them in the refrigerator, so I had them pre-cut for this video. Here's some bell pepper, because I like to saute my meat. So I just wanted to show you, and I also use ground turkey. I'm not a ground beef eater. I believe in eating healthy, so everything that you see here is turkey. So there's the ground turkey and the smoked turkey, and like I said, the bell peppers. So there's the ingredients again. So let's get started with this Homestyle chili. Okay, so here's my ground turkey, and what I do, I've already greased my pan. I sprayed it down with some bacon spray in case the meat tries to stick. And I always chop up my ground turkey real good prior to me seasoning, because I want all the seasoning to get through the meat. I'll chop it up real good in the pan. Okay. And then I add some pepper. Not too much, because I don't like spicy food. But I don't want to do I don't like to overdo it with the pepper either. And here's the seasoned salt. And you don't want it too salty. Now I'm gonna season it only to give my meat some seasoning, because I have to add that chili seasoning packet, and I don't want to over season it. So I don't want to make anything too salty or have it overly seasoned. So I'm gonna season my meat though. Here, so here's my chopped onion. Now you can use real onion if you like, but for today's video we're gonna use chopped onion. And here's my garlic powder. I like garlic, so I'll use that a little bit more. Okay. And so we're gonna get started cooking this. So what I start to do before I put in my smoked turkey, as I start to brown the ground turkey first. Start to brown that first. And I also, as I'm browning the ground turkey, I add my bell pepper. So that helps with the sauteing of the meat. Get that bell pepper in there, give it some good taste to the meat. You know, it's best to have everything prepared prior, because preparation takes the longest. So I wanted to make sure I had all my ingredients ready for this video. Hope everybody's great day is going great. So we're gonna cook this until it's semi-brown. And as you can see, it's getting brown. I like to keep stirring my meat so that it doesn't stick to the pan. Let that cook, and then I'll add my smoked turkey sausage. But I like to get this semi-cooked first before I add the smoked turkey sausage. So now we're going to add the smoked turkey sausage. There's your smoked turkey sausage. So we can start letting the sausage cook. So before I add any sauce or anything, I like to make sure that my meat is somewhat cooked and seasoned. That's starting to look good. So I'm going to get some water so that we can add it with our sauce. Okay. Let's go back to getting our sausage somewhat cooked. It smells very good, especially with that bell pepper and the garlic and chopped onion. I think I'll add a little bit more seasoned salt, just a little bit. So I want to make sure that the meat is well seasoned. And the sausage is starting to cook very well. But like I said, I constantly stir so that the pieces of meat can get somewhat cooked. They don't have to be brown, but because when it cooks in the sauce, it's going to cook even more. So while that's cooking, I'll put away my seasoning. Because as I said, I clean as I go. And that way, I don't have any of that going on. after I'm done cooking my meal. Let's put these away. Okay, I'm going to stir it again. This is going to be good. I haven't made chili in a while, so I decided, let me make my Homestyle Chilli and also share a video with those that would like to learn how to make chili. If you don't know how to make chili, I know that people cook their chili different ways, but this is how I cook it, so I wanted to share my recipe on how I cook my Homestyle Chilli. I was trying to see if I had any chili powder, but I don't, and it's okay. I still have that chili seasoning that I'm going to add, so that would give me even more taste of chili. So here we go. As you can see the sausages are cooking, and I just going to cook those a little bit more before we add the rest of the ingredients. And there you go. It's coming along great. So most likely, excuse me, my chili will be done before the cornbread, which is fine. Like I say, I like to have everything hot when it's all said and done. So, it's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the fire down a little bit. And I'm going to start adding my kidney beans. I add 2 cans of kidney beans. Okay, here's the second can. Nice red kidney beans. And then I added just a little bit of water at the bottom because it's got it got the juice from the kidney beans, but I like to add a little water before I add my sauce. So now we're going to add the chili sauce. It looks good. This is going to be some good eating. Homestyle chili and cornbread. Now, with your chili, you know, you can always make rice as well for your chili to go over rice. That's how we used to eat it growing up. My mom would make rice along with her chili, and then we would put the chili over rice, which was a nice filling meal. But on today, I won't be cooking rice. I'll just be doing the chili and the cornbread. And let me add some water in this chili sauce bottle to get the rest of the residue out of the bottle. I'll shake it up. I added water in there so I can get the rest of it out. And I'm only going to add a little bit of that in there. Okay. So now I'm going to add my chili seasoning, which is here. My chili seasoning. And I just add it like that. And then I'm going to stir this real good. Let all these seasoning, the beans and the bell pepper and the meats get in there real good. Now, if your chili is a little tart, like sometime with the sauce is just a little tart, you can always add some sugar into your chili just to take some of that tartness away. I'll taste it and make sure that it's tasting not too tart. And if I need to add sugar, I'll add a little sugar just to take that tartness off the edge. But as you can see, man, this chili is looking really good. Like I said, it's been a while since I made chili. I was in the grocery store the other day, and I was like, I need to make some chili. I haven't made it in a while. And I think that would be some good eating. Matter of fact, I know it's going to be with the cornbread. And as we've been making the chili, the cornbread is yet cooking. But I stir it real good. Stir it up real good. Get all your seasonings and everything through there. And then what I'm going to do is turn down the heat and then allow this to simmer for about maybe 20 to 25 minutes so that all those ingredients can cook together. And the meat can also cook some more. Hope you guys' mouths are watering. I'm sure you would love to taste it. Too bad you can't taste through the screen. But wanted to show you my recipe, so in case you like to try it, then by all means try it. See if you like it. If you've never used the chili sauce to cook your chili, that chili sauce is real good. So I'm going to turn the fire down. Clean up. Turn the fire down, and then I'm going to cover it so that it doesn't splash all over my stove. Because sometimes when it gets to simmering, it wants to splash. I'm just cleaning my top before I put it on the chili. I like to make sure that everything is well cleaned before I put a top on it. So here you go. So we're going to cover that up and let it simmer. So I'll come back to let you guys see the final product of what it looks like, and then give you a view of my golden brown cornbread. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to give my chili a little taste to make sure that it's not tart. And if it is, then I'll just add a little sugar and taste the juice. Okay, so it is going to need a little bit of sugar just to take the tartness off. So let me go to my refrigerator and get the sugar. So I'm going to add a little sugar, just enough to take that tartness off. Okay. So let me mix it up real good. And I'm going to let it continue to simmer. Let that sugar get through there. I was taught that from a friend that anytime you cooking like spaghetti or anything that has to do with tomato sauce or tomato paste, and if it's a little too, you know, like it has that tartness to it, sugar will always bring it down and give it the right taste. So I'm going to let it go ahead and simmer with that sugar. Then we'll come back and taste it again. Make sure that it's just right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover this again and let it simmer. And I'll be back. Okay, guys, so here's my chili. It's done. And chili is a quick and easy meal to make. Doesn't take much time at all. So the taste is good. I just added a little bit more sugar and it's just right. Make you want to slap somebody. So here's what the final product looked like as for the chili. Everything has cooked, the beans, the meat, everything is nice and tender. So I'm going to turn this off and sit it over to the side to cool down. And I'm still waiting for my cornbread to finish. Let me clean this up. Yep, my cornbread still have some time to go. But here's the chili. I'm going to sit this over to the side and cover it up. And when the cornbread is done, I'll show you what it looks like. My golden cornbread. And then that will be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed watching me cooking my homestyle chili. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's my golden brown cornbread to finish off my meal with the homestyle chili. So what I do is, as soon as it comes out the oven, I cut it into squares. Just like this. All right, this is nice and well cooked. Okay, so before I put the butter on, let me rinse this knife. Okay, so after cutting the cornbread and while it's nice and hot, then I take butter and I can't believe it's not butter. And first I put the butter on there. Put a good amount. And then I spread it so that it can get throughout the cuts that I made in it and get down in within the cornbread. So when you eat this cornbread, it's nice and buttery. So I put a substantial amount because I want the butter to get deep down inside. And I spread it on the sides here. All around the edges. Get every piece of the cornbread. Butter it up real good. So don't be afraid to use butter. Like I said, I can't believe it's not butter. I think that's one of the healthiest butters, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, it's getting all down in there. And after I cover it, it's still nice and warm and hot. Then I'll cover it. I'll put a top on it and let the butter finish melting. So this is how it should look. Nice and buttery. And let me get the top to cover it up. So I like to use aluminum pans because you can easily just throw them away after you've been done with them. So here's the top. And I'm going to cover my cornbread and let that butter finish melting before we eat. And I'll set it to the side. So this ends my video of my recipe for cornbread and Homestyle Chilli. And I look forward to eating it for dinner. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you like what you see here, please subscribe to my channel. Don't be afraid to subscribe. I will welcome you. I welcome you. So that ends my video. And until the next video, you guys have a real awesome day.